Is the Christian God and the Muslim God the same? That's a good question, because the two biggest religions in the whole world believe in one God. And let me say this about Islam, just a couple of things. It's the second largest religion in the world, and it's the majority religion in about 40 countries, which claims about 900 million followers, or about 1/6 of the world's population. There are about 150 differing sects of Islam at this time, of which the best known are the Sunnis and the Shiites. Islam was founded by Muhammad in approximately AD 570. He had an unknown father, was named by his mother, and the Muslims called God Allah, which is a contraction of the words Allah, a personal name for a moon god, the chief of the gods in ancient Kabbalah, and it's still reflected in the crescent moon on the shrines and the mosques and the natural flags in the Islamic countries. And if Allah were merely an Arabic word for God, then Muslims would not hesitate to use the word for God in other languages. But it would be blasphemy for a Muslim to call God anything but Allah. Muslims may allow some attacks on Allah, but a word against Muhammad you'll often find provokes rage. So what are the differences? The Bible teaches that God is love, but no orthodox Muslim could say God is love. Instead, he would emphasise the power of God. Secondly, Christians' attitudes toward God should be one of worship and devotion, which is a response to the work that God had done for them through Christ. You don't find that attitude of thankfulness for a work done by God in Islam. Thirdly, the Christian believes that a personal relationship with God. He has found acceptance and peace with God because of the blood of Christ. But Islam teaches that Allah and the world are separate. It's kind of their definition of holiness, and therefore any kind of human fellowship is impossible and should not be expected. Fourthly, the Muslim will pray 5 times a day, and it's largely a formal routine of reciting verses from the Quran in the language of the Quran, which is Arabic. And also their prayer, they encourage people to pray in their own language as well. Muslims worship largely in the mosque, and before they pray, they wash their hands and take their shoes off, and they sit down together on a big carpet and pray, and boys, like girls, young people and women can go to other areas of the mosque, and normally on different levels and this kind of thing, and they pray there. Fifthly, Muslims recite daily chants, and one of the main chants would be that there is just no God but Allah, and Muhammad his prophet. Now, Christians believe in God the Father, and God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. The Muslim finds that saying offensive and believes that saying works against the unity of God. See, it's one thing to defend the right of everyone's freedom of worship, and people worship. We live in a free place, and that's fantastic. People worship God how they feel right. But it's quite another thing to say that everyone's choice is right. Toleration is not the same as validation. Theoretically, all religions may be wrong, but logically they cannot all be right. The idea that all religions are the same is clearly ridiculous, let alone that they all point in the same direction, address the same God, and lead to the same destination. Jesus said this in John chapter 14, verse 6. He said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through me." Thank you.